Welcome to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal, live from the AMP.TV studios here in fabulous Las Vegas. A special message for consumer business owners and managers. For information on the best high-speed internet, satellite TV, cell phone service, identity protection, home and business security automation, credit card processing, as well as savings on electricity and gas, contact Consumer and Business Services at 702-799-9935. That's 702-799-9935 for more information. That's for Consumer and Business Services, 702-799-9935, or learn more at safelyspend.com. That's safelyspend.com, or email info@safelyspend.com. And a big welcome to everybody listening in on Magic 97.9 FM right here in Las Vegas and our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast, as well as those watching on AMP.TV, AAMP.TV, as well as Hotel Television, and also those listening in on iHeartRadio and Spotify and streaming the show at thesportscircus.com. Hey, let me ask you a quick question. Do you know somebody by the name of Sean Corey Carter?
No. Should I?
Yeah. Actually, you probably do, because you probably know Sean Corey Carter and his wife, Beyonce Giselle Knowles. You know those two? Ever hear of those two?
I've heard of those two. That's a power couple out there.
It's a power couple that deserves an astounding round of boos. During the national anthem of the Super Bowl, neither one of them stood up. Kidding me? Why? Are you that special you don't have to stand for the national anthem for the same stars and stripes that you fought for, young man? Correct?
I fought for the Constitution.
You're damn right you did. You fought for the Constitution.
Not the flag.
All right, the point is, those two showed zero respect for our national anthem. I don't understand it. Look, why get the game off to a dark start by not even acknowledging your country's flag? I don't understand it. It's not like the country owes them anything. They've made plenty of money off the people from this country and beyond. At least acknowledge where you're from, for Christ's sakes. Unbelievable.
No, you can have
freedom
some
of
pride
speech and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can have some pride in part of the Constitution that I did fight for. That was the only one. I didn't make a pledge of allegiance. I made a pledge to the Constitution, and with that, they have the right to stand or not stand, flip everybody off, whatever they want to. But I'll get to it. I'm trying to make a point here. So the thing is that you can stand, you can do whatever you want to because people fought for that. But you're putting yourself out there as a jerk. Sorry. We have the right to call you whatever we want to in that same Bill of Rights because you're obviously putting it out there that you don't support it. So that's fine. We know what your opinions are. Okay, let's leave it at that. It's when it goes beyond that, that's when it starts getting a little bit troublesome.
Yeah, I mean, and here, so let's take a look at the other side of that. Let's just fast forward to the halftime show. The halftime show had a lot of mixed reviews, and I'm okay with, I guess, the central theme of the halftime show. And a lot of people had thought that, when Shakira stuck her tongue out, waved it back and forth, that it was something sort of sexual in nature. It wasn't. Actually, Shakira paid tribute to the Afro-Colombian roots that she has, highlighting the Carnaval, Mapale dance, Champeta, and honoring her father, who is Lebanese. When she put her tongue out, that is the Zagrauta. In English, of course, it's something else, but that's the Arab way to express happy emotion. So no problem with that from Shakira. But I have to tell you, seeing her side by side with Jennifer Lopez, Shakira looked 100 times better and a hell of a lot thinner, if you know what I mean.
Well, and even then, Shakira's pretty thick to begin with because she has those abs. She works them out. Well,
but she showed a little bit of belly or a bit of belly thickness. Let's put it that way. But it's okay because it was kind of natural. And she's 43 years old. She looked fantastic. Yeah. And here, her counterpart looked kind of like a Mack truck, in my opinion. It wasn't the one that we knew.
Well, compared to Shakira, I look like a Mack truck. Come on, man.
Yeah, but come on. This is somebody who's supposed to have one of the best bottoms in the world or something like that. I don't know. Who knows? All I know, that's what we hear about on television, and that's there's insurance policies based on that. All I know is, for what I see, my opinion says this was night and day. I would give Shakira a 9, and I would give Jennifer Lopez an abysmal 7. I think she probably should have covered up a little bit more. Again, all my opinion, but I don't think Jennifer Lopez did herself any favor. She might as well have been out there next to Mariah Carey, because Mariah Carey is not the thinnest thing in the world, in my opinion, either.
Well, they put on a good show. I think that's the above all everything. They put on a good show. It was something to watch. Like always, I don't like listening to the halftime show. I'd much rather watch it because it's never an actual band that does a good job. Or, I don't know, someone who might actually sing. So, I mean, I don't like listening to it, but I do like watching the halftime show.
I don't know. I preferred watching. I could have actually watched it with the volume completely off because I don't like either one of them singing. I really don't. I don't think either one of them has a really good voice. And frankly, it was entertaining to watch, and that's about it. So I actually turned the volume all the way down just to watch the dancing and mayhem on the stage.
What makes me mad is it's not them singing. It's them in the studio like 10 years ago singing. It's not them singing up there. You can tell exactly when they turn their mics on. You can tell they're out of breath because they're doing an aerobic workout in front of us. So I mean, I don't know. Props to the music editor. Good job. You did a fantastic performance. So so just want to give you some props too.
Right, fixing it in the mix, so to say. But you know what happened? It was funny. A few days ago, it was last Friday, I was interviewed on ESPN about the prop bets and about the game. Buddy, I got to tell you, I went out on a limb and I had said that it was going to be Kansas City 31, San Francisco 16. And all the way through the game, I'm thinking, okay, now they're down 20 to 10. What are we going to do? Nope, they got them right where they want them. And had they held San Francisco, Kansas City, that is, to a field goal in their last touchdown drive, the final score would have been Kansas City 31 and San Francisco 16. But they did score a touchdown, which made it a 4-point victory. At least I had the double-digit victory right. A lot of people told me, you're on crack. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. No, I actually had it right because this came down to a very potent offense that just seems to take a little time to get started. Yeah. And it sure seemed to me that Patrick Mahomes was aiming the ball for the first half. He was a little uncomfortable. The front four was getting a little penetration on him from San Francisco. But over time, like anything else, good teams do what? They make adjustments, and adjustments are what winning teams are made by. This is exactly what the Kansas City Chiefs did throughout the playoffs, down double digits in every game, came back and win in every game. It is what it is. Those guys absolutely deserves it. San Francisco thought they were going to be able to run the ball. No. Kansas City stacked the line. Mostert only got 58 yards. What's his face? Who else do they have? Tevin Coleman. He only had about 29 yards or something like that. Ultimately, it was what? It was the Kansas City running game out-rushing the San Francisco running game. You could stack the box, and then Kansas City figured out to jump the routes on the play-action passes because Garoppolo was picking them apart on those play-action passes. And what ended up happening there was we saw late in the third quarter, that was the end of the play action effectiveness for the most part. I mean, really, Garoppolo did not look that good at this game. And really, as far as the over and under goes, this was an unders game. The scoring that we saw at the very end of the game, although it was 21 quick points for Kansas City, this was purely an unders game. And I'm not sure how the sports writers, I should say the odds makers, had it even at 53.5. That blew me away. The line I had closing at 2.5, which it did hit 2.5 at one of the properties, and then it finished up at 2 down at the Westgate here in Las Vegas. But ultimately, this was a pretty easy game to pick as I saw it.
It was an easy game to pick, especially because the wild card showed up. The wild card for me was the Kansas City defense. And you could see how well they were oiled and how well they were running in the fourth quarter with Jones being able to smack it out of the air like 3 times. It was amazing. They had their number.
Right. Richard Sherman looked tired. He looked like he was getting beat up and down the field. And honestly, when I saw Richard Sherman, it looked like he was sucking wind. He was having a hard time keeping up. There's no way he can keep up with the speed of Tyreek Hill. And ultimately, what happened? Those guys got tired. I'm sorry, San Francisco, you're 2 players short. Maybe next year you're going to make those adjustments. But Kansas City, I got to tell you, man, they're going to probably be there again. If you know what I mean.
I could believe it. They roped themselves in. When the game was starting, and then they just unleashed it in the second half. It was amazing to watch.
And that was absolutely expected. Folks, we're going to be back here with a very special guest. We're going to let her introduce herself when she comes back, but you may know her from a very famous song you hear once a week during the fall. Back here in a few minutes on the Sports Circus. Don't go anywhere.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-296-1209. 800-296-1209. That's 800-296-1209.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-476-6087. 800-476-6087. 800-476-6087.
Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
If you served in the Marine Corps, by now you know about the contaminated water problem at Camp Lejeune. If you were stationed or worked at Camp Lejeune from 1953 to 1987, you probably have a lot of questions. We have some answers. You could be entitled to compensation. Billions of dollars are being allocated to pay for damages to anyone stationed at Camp Lejeune during that time. Unfortunately, it appears that officials may have known the contaminated water problem existed and did little to protect their men. The Semper Fi code was not honored. If you or someone in your family has developed a serious illness, including various forms of cancer, call this Camp Lejeune legal support line right now. You can't turn back the clock and change what happened, but you can certainly call right now and learn your rights as a Marine. Here's the number.
800-852-5186. 800-852-5186. That's 800-852-5186. Paid for by Legal Alert Line.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more.
800-957-6209. 800-957-6209. 800-957-6209. That's 800-957-6209.
Can you feel it? Here comes the storm. Can you hear it? 100,000 strong. Can you taste it on the tip of your tongue? Are you ready? Let's get it on. The time is now.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal, live from the AMP.TV studios here in fabulous Las Vegas. That's AAMP.TV studios here in Las Vegas. This segment is brought to you in part by Cali Vegas, helping people create, host their very own radio, TV, or multimedia talk show. Cali Vegas can help with everything they need to get out of sitting in hours of traffic, probably like they're doing right now, and host their very own talk show in their very own studio. For more information, contact Cali Vegas at 949-445-1119. That's 949-445-1119. Again, 949-445-1119, or visit them for more information at calivegas.com. That's CALI Vegas.com. And welcome back to everybody listening in on Magic 97.9 FM right here in fabulous Las Vegas, as well as our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast. Talk 1490 WIRB down in southern Alabama and Florida Panhandle. And a big welcome to everybody watching on AMP TV, AAMP.TV, as well as Hotel Television, where you've probably seen some music videos, especially the song that we were just playing when we came into the segment. In fact, our special guest, go ahead and introduce yourself, would you?
What's up, Sal? This is Heidi Merrill.
All right,
Hi.
This is Heidi Merrill.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Heidi, tell everybody about yourself.
Well, I'm originally from Nebraska. I'm a singer-songwriter, mostly country and pop. What else do you want to know?
Your favorite color, no, I'm kidding. It's kind of like Buddy the Elf. What's your favorite color? So tell us, Heidi, tell us about that. Oh, really? Tell us about that song that was just playing. Tell us a little bit about it.
I heard that. It's called Game On. I wrote it in Nashville with a team of people. We actually had that played on CBS college basketball.
Excellent.
For the final. Yeah. And I know you want me to say something else about the song, but
no, I don't want you to say nothing else. No. All I know is I've heard that song several times before. We'll just kind of leave it at that. I mean, for college basketball, I'm a huge college basketball fan. That's fantastic. Who's your college basketball team? Oh, let me guess. Is it Nebraska by chance?
I'm pretty sure we have one.
Yeah,
that's definitely not something I follow, to be honest.
All right, so tell me about the transition.
Yes.
Tell me about the transition from country girl in Nebraska to where you're at today. What happened during all this time? Boy, you've had an interesting journey, haven't you?
I have, yeah. I actually got scouted to be a fashion model, and I flew to Miami, got with an agency. They sent me over to Europe. I spent a few years there, finally made my way to New York City, and I'd been singing my whole life, but not really pursuing it. But once I got there, New York's the city where dreams are made of, I guess. So I went for it, started with a vocal coach and started performing live and started writing songs. That was about 10 years ago. So, then traveling back and forth to Nashville, meeting better songwriters, working with great producers. And, I feel like I have a great evolution of music now. Really strong in the country scene.
You know what this kind of reminds me of? And I know this is two different eras, but I remember an older movie called Coal Miner's Daughter. And that movie with Sissy Spacek, she was supposed to be Loretta Lynn in that movie. And she had a guitar back in the day. She was singing to the kids and so forth. I'm not saying that you were doing this, but I'm just saying it kind of reminds me of when she first got heard on the radio. She and her husband, Dew, I can't remember his full name, but Dewey, whatever it was. Anyway, they went from radio station to radio station with their pressed 45s to get them to play, and then they finally got her a different picker, and so her music got a lot cleaner, I guess. The instrumental got a lot cleaner, and the songwriting and so forth. She did, but I guess all of the music got better. Now, do you find that the music for you, or I should say, the lyrics got better as you found, I guess, better songwriters in Nashville?
Yeah, absolutely. I honestly put off going to Nashville. I just figured it was oversaturated, or maybe that I could get the same stuff done in New York City. But when I finally went, I was shocked at how talented the writers are there and just how quickly you can pump a song out. Like literally in a few hours, you just pump out a brand new, amazing song. Whereas in New York, I was maybe meeting with my guitar player and we would come up with a guitar riff, and then we'd come up with a chorus, and then maybe a couple weeks would go by, and I'd play with the lyrics a little bit, and then we'd finally, finish a song. But yeah, man, in Nashville, they really know what they're doing there.
So would you say it's pretty much just that the song is written, and then of course they lay the vocals onto the track, right?
Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, we write the song. You maybe record it into your phone, and then for Game On especially, the producer just started feeling a beat, and then one of the other guys who was really great on guitar wrote that cool guitar intro part, which kind of goes throughout the song. And then, before that, we just kind of started vibing lyrics back and forth, but we definitely had the lyrics done before we started doing all the music around it.
Right.
And you could go
right,
either way. You can start with a track and write over it, or you can just start with a cool idea or story and then put whatever kind of music goes, but do that part later.
All right, folks, we're here with singer-songwriter Heidi Merrill, and Heidi is joining us here on AMP TV as well as Hotel Television and our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast. Heidi, as far as that song Game On, was that something that you had thought of or a couple of people had thought of? How did that one come on? Because it seems to be something that people seem to hear a little bit more often than maybe some of your other songs. Could you tell me a little bit more on how that came about? Was it you or a collaboration?
It was definitely my idea to write a really great sports anthem. I actually came out with a song called Cornhusker Strong, which is an anthem for my home state, Nebraska. And I got that one, got a lot of views on my video on YouTube, got that one played in the stadium in Nebraska, and actually several years later, they're still playing it on the radio every Husker season, football season. So with my success from that song, I went back with the one writer I had worked with. He's really known around Nashville. His name's Jeff Cohen. And I said, you know what, let's do another sports anthem because this one took off so well in Nebraska, but let's just have it be for everybody, not just for Nebraska fans. And he was like, yeah, that's a great idea. So I flew back to Nashville, and I picked a producer to be on the writing team as well. Because if you do that, then you don't have to pay for the production up front.
Right.
He has a piece of the song as well. And, we got in a room and we just said, yeah, let's make this awesome sports anthem. And it's really for football, if you listen to the lyrics. So, and I definitely wanted it to be, though, I didn't want it to just be like a jingle. I wanted it to be a radio song that I could put out on my album. Well, I mostly do singles now, but something that I could put out on the radio as well. So good for TV, good for radio, good all around. And that's what we came up with. We came up with that all together in a room, just bouncing ideas off each other.
How long did it take to come up with that?
We were there, let's see, we did have a lunch break that day, but still, it was probably not more than 5 hours total.
No kidding. So you just came up with a song in 5 hours.
The next day to work with the producer. Yeah, we came up with the song in about 5 hours, including our lunch break. And it's funny, the producer actually had a sign on his wall. It said, verse, chorus, lunch, bridge, chorus, done.
Really? That's
and
incredible.
You, that's really how they do it in Nashville. It's just amazing.
Wow. So that's why all these record producers and singers, songwriters, that's why they have these monstrous houses maybe down in Palm Beach, Florida, or Jupiter, Florida, or Beverly Hills, or whatever, huh? Or Newport Beach even.
Yeah, so they can fit their studio inside their house, you mean?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, but boy, I'll tell you, some of the biggest houses I've seen are from the people in the music business. But I have to say that I love stadium music, and here, of course, we do a sports show, and I love the fact of talking about the music that goes on in the stadiums and seeing the people dance around like a bunch of knuckleheads, and just add some alcohol and they dance even worse. That's for damn sure. You know what I mean?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, we want to definitely get people on their feet, dancing, singing along.
Yeah, we featured a lot of musical artists on this show for that reason, because let's face it, when we go to games, I go to games all the time. I like to hear the music that's being played. I like to watch the crowd. And let's face it, without the stadium music, we're kind of missing something, aren't we?
For sure, yeah. The music definitely brings the energy, and the DJ knows just when to put it on when there's a timeout or whatnot, keep everybody amped up and ready for the next play. It's great.
That sounds kind of funny to hear DJ and stadium at the same time. You know what I mean? It just seems that way to me.
It does. I guess, yeah, you don't see him. He's up there hiding somewhere, but there is somebody pushing the button, right? There's somebody pushing play. So I guess they're called a DJ.
Right. Well, it's not like they're spinning the big 70s from back in the day in the dance clubs. No, now they're pressing buttons, they're playing CDs. And it's funny when I see DJs now on TV here, like in our last 30 seconds, when I see them, I'm watching a video, or if I'll go to the club, I can watch them spinning a CD, which is really goofy looking because it's not like the big vinyl, the 12-inch vinyl. Mm-hmm. It just looks really odd. To me, it does. Anyway, folks, listen, we're going to be back here with Heidi Merrill, singer-songwriter, in just a few moments on the other side here on the Sports Circus. Lots more to come. Don't go anywhere.
Was the night before sometime, and the fans were all blue. Sports radio sucked, and they wanted something new. Las Vegas was beaming from the hotel lights, the city with action from morning till night. They want the real deal, not a wannabe faker. So an idea came from Sal the bookmaker. I'll build a sports program, he said with a wink. That won't be too hard. All the other shows stink. A show that is different, with a name that is worth it. Then it hit him like lightning. It will be the Sports Circus. The intro was special. The music was grand. Sal the Ringmaster was taking a stand. My show will be rogue with a chaotic effect. Listeners won't have a clue of what to expect. He added more people like Sideshow Bob and the human beach ball who resembled the blob. But their shtick had no punch. The Ringmaster got tired when with the crack of his whip, they both were soon fired. Then his answer was clear, like a ring in a bell. He had one man in mind to call on his cell. To co-host the Sports Circus, he didn't trust many, but only one friend. Yes, Long Beach Lenny. The voice of the people with humor and rage, to banter with Sal like pit bulls in a cage. He got correspondence as wide as a glacier. A Stanley Cup champion, Colin Frazier. Then Marlon Greenwood, who is not fakin', a rapper and player whose roots are Jamaican. Now all of the listeners whose lives were so tragic can now hear the Sports Circus when they're all stuck in traffic. The ratings are soaring to the highest degree. This duo's fantastic, and sports fans agree. The show's unpredictable, a well-known fact that keeps them all listening and all coming back. So the Sports Circus is growing. We're here for a while. The Ringmaster and Lenny, don't touch that dial.
That's ridiculous. Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal, live from the AMP.TV studios here in fabulous Las Vegas. This segment is brought to you in part by the American Business Trust Company, helping companies with strategy, sales and marketing, capital resources, and establishing companies with physical locations or on the internet. Visit them online for more information at abtrustco.com. That's ABTRUSTCO, abtrustco.com, or call 657-600-1876. That's the American Business Trust Company, 657-600-1876. And welcome back to everybody listening in on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast, including our friends over in Honolulu on CBS Sports 1500 KHKA. Big hello to our friends over in Los Angeles on KCAA 106.5 FM, 102.3 FM, and 1050 AM, our NBC News, CNBC Financial, and NBC Sports affiliate right here in Las Vegas, Magic 97.9 FM. Big hello to our friends over in Boston on WBNW 102.9 FM and 1120 AM, and to our friends down in Southern Alabama, Talk 1490 WIRB, and a big hello to our friends over in Honolulu. I should say Honolulu. We already said that. Let's try Miami. We have them all over the place, folks. We can't seem to keep track of them. They're all over the place. Anyway, also welcome in to everybody watching on Hotel Television and AMP TV and streaming at thesportscircus.com. Here with singer-songwriter Heidi Merrill. That was another one of Heidi's songs when we came into the segment. Heidi, which song was that?
That song was Cornhusker Strong.
That was Cornhusker Strong. Okay, I'm a Big Ten guy. I'll give you an applause for that.
Okay, all right.
The reason I'm going to give you...
I know we've had a tough few years or more, but soon we'll make our comeback.
Heidi, the reason I'm going to give you a round of applause for that is because I went to a Big Ten school. I went to Purdue for undergrad, but they were also known as the Hayseeds way back before they were known as the Boilermakers. I don't know if you knew that. Not really something that a lot of people talk about, but I thought I would throw it out there. But it has that agricultural theme, if you will, right? So let's go ahead and bring that out. Kind of ridiculous. Okay, so look, Heidi, you've been at this for a while, and you even look. I would have loved to seen you at the Super Bowl. Now you saw a halftime show like I did. I talked about it in the first segment with Sonar. What were your thoughts about the halftime show?
I loved it. Yeah, we went to a Super Bowl party. There were a lot of dudes at this party, and they were very excited to watch Shakira and J-Lo dance. And I have to say, they did a great job. You know, they get a lot of performers for halftime, and sometimes it's a hit and sometimes it's a miss. But I think people really like to see the dancing more than the singing for that. And those two girls can dance. They can shake their booties. They did a good job.
That they can. I think Shakira did a little bit better job, and she probably, well, just in my opinion, I think she has a little bit more to offer as far as that goes. But I think voice-wise, what do you think voice-wise between the two? I think Shakira maybe has a better voice, but unfortunately, actually, but let me reverse that a little bit. I think Shakira knows how to sing a little bit better. Maybe not a better voice. What are your thoughts on that?
Unique voice. She has a powerful and unique voice, which is really cool. And other than her dancing, made her famous for sure. I don't know. I thought they both did a good job. I couldn't tell at times if they were actually singing because I think they need a little help. It's not hard, but but they did it. They're there to perform, and the performance was definitely there.
The light show was exciting.
A little younger too, even though J-Lo looks amazing. So
she looks amazing, but she's not
cred there.
Yeah, but she didn't look as amazing as she did when she was a fly girl back on In Living Color. You know what I mean? Just a few years earlier, obviously.
Nobody looks as good as when Living Color was around.
It hurts all of us, man.
I don't know, but no, it was very entertaining. I love all the lights, and I love the fireworks, and it was certainly entertaining. I think the music was pretty good. I would have liked to seen a little bit more variety on Jennifer Lopez's side. Me personally, but that's just me. I got what I expected out of Shakira. She's got a couple of hits, and that's what we heard. And it's just she's more of a figure that a lot of people identify with, not necessarily because she has a ton of music. It's just she's such a recognizable figure. Agree or disagree?
Shakira, I think they're both very recognizable figures.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I was just referring to because Jennifer Lopez has a bunch of music, and I think she has a lot more music than Shakira does. But I think Shakira and her popularity she has a very, I guess, a very striking figure from throughout Latin America, and even through all of the Americas, including North America. And I believe a lot of people know her from her dancing. They know her from her voice, although she doesn't have as much music as Jennifer Lopez. Mm-hmm. But she is a very, very recognizable figure throughout the Americas.
Absolutely. She's unique for sure. Unique voice, unique dance style. I love watching her. I think she's amazing. And I think it was a great pair, too.
So when are we going to see you on the halftime stage?
I don't know if I could shake my booty like that, but I would definitely sing some sports anthems for sure.
Right. Well, maybe you could have the music and
it's
let
your
everyone
decision,
dance.
Right, Sal? You can get me in there, right?
Hey, listen, we're doing everything we can. All I know is, look, we have the NFL draft coming up here in Las Vegas, and I'd like to have you out here doing special music if we get our piece done with that network that we told you about. It looks like we might be making some traction with that, and we might need our own personal music for the Sports Circus and for amp.tv, which, of course, people could see you all over the place. Look, you're on YouTube, you're in hotels. Tell everybody how to follow you, by the way.
It's my name, HeidiMerrill.com, and Merrill's like Merrill Lynch, Merrill. So you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, iTunes, all those places if you just plug in my name.
Right. Now, I've seen the first video for the Game On song. That had nearly 700,000 plays on YouTube. Boy, that's a lot. I mean, imagine.
Not bad.
Folks, imagine this. I mean, everybody listening in while you're driving, imagine if you could be a songwriter and you have this glorious smile, you have this great way about you. You're pretty tall, aren't you, too, Heidi?
I am.
You look fairly
5'11".
tall. Yeah, you're 5'11". I noticed that next to some of the people in your videos, you're just as tall as some of they are. I was like, wow, she's tall. But imagine this. If you're sitting in traffic right now saying, you know what, I can sing, but can you sing that well? And by the way, does the camera feel you? I mean, obviously, does the mic feel you, but is the camera going to feel you? Heidi, you have a very particular way with the camera. The camera really likes you. I got to tell you. Big round of applause for that.
That's a very nice compliment. Thank you.
Hey, it is what it is. I'm calling it like I see it. That's for sure. But seriously, folks, imagine having all those plays, 700,000 thereabouts. We'll call it 690, 680,000, whatever it is. That's a lot of plays. Heidi, a lot of people know your music, and they're going to hear a lot more from you. Are you in the studio recording more music?
I am. I actually just finished vocals for a new song. It's not a sports song this time, although I will mention All for the Glory just came out, and we did a radio campaign, played on several stations around the nation. All for the Glory was my newest sports song that came out a few months ago. And now I just did the vocals for, it's more like kind of a sad song. But, you got to run the gamut in country.
What key was it written in or performed in?
Ooh, that's not a question for me.
Oh,
that's why I have
that's good stuff.
That's why I have musicians around me. I
Right?
actually don't know what key it's in. That's an interesting question from someone like you.
Well, a lot of those happy songs, I don't know. A lot of the happy songs are recorded in the key of G. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yeah.
It seems.
Perhaps.
Yes.
I think they're all over the board.
It seems to be
Depending
that way.
on where your range is, you can move it around.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, you know what we're going to have to do here on Magic 97.9, we're going to have to see if they can play some of your music, because I know they have a lot of music they do play on here after the Sports Circus and beforehand. That'd be kind of cool to hear you kind of right before the show. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
All right. So you did watch a little bit of the game. What did you think of the game, Heidi? A little bit you saw.
It was yeah. I mean, the matchup was definitely very even, but yeah, I was hoping for some more big plays, some more excitement. I was chasing my 2.5-year-old around the party where we were at, so I didn't catch everything. But all the betting
but
they
you
were
caught
talking
your
about
2.5-year-old
before the game. I did. I caught him.
Right.
This group that I was with, they bet on everything. They bet on the coin toss. They bet on the length of the national anthem. They bet on everything. So there was a lot of noise and fun happening, despite whatever the game was actually doing itself.
Did they bet on the Gatorade color? Because I know there was a prop bet for that.
I bet they did. I didn't check out their chart. They had this huge chart on the wall, a lot of squares where people put their names in and stuff. I'm going to have to ask them if they did that one. Yeah.
I would have thought, Heidi, the Gatorade color would have been red because both teams had red in their jerseys. So if I was a betting guy on that, I mean, I'm Sal the bookmaker on another show, but yeah, it was actually orange, which was a big surprise. And I think orange, the odds were, I think it was you put up 100 to win 500. So yeah, it was a 5-1 on the orange, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty exciting stuff. Anyway, Heidi, you want to join us for another segment?
Sure.
All right, folks, back here with Heidi Merrill, singer-songwriter. And here's her music on the way out.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm Roy Firestone. Now it's time to throw it back to Sal.
My favorite one had to do with the Green Bay Packers. And I love the fact that they dealt off Ty Montgomery because of a blown assignment. Green Bay isn't Green Bay unless they have a good running game. Then they can win 10 Super Bowls. The fact is, you don't have a running game. You've got 70% passing, and that's not where Aaron Rodgers needs to be. He needs to be in a position where he's got a running game to offset the passing game and so forth. I like the move. Green Bay didn't have a running game anyway, so all they're doing is saying, we're going to get rid of you because you don't follow instructions.
Well, he made one of the most boneheaded plays I've ever seen. There's 2 minutes and 5 seconds on the clock. They traded him on Tuesday.
They should have cut him on Sunday night.
He shouldn't have been on the plane back to Green Bay.
Right, they should have made him walk back to Green Bay.
No, it was a terrible play. Now, he's not a stupid guy. He went to Stanford.
Really?
He's not a dumb guy.
He's not a dumb guy, but he doesn't follow instructions.
He made a terrible play.
The fact is he didn't follow instructions. And you say he's not a dumb guy. His own agenda he put ahead of his team.
I agree.
Thus, he is a dumb guy. Right or wrong?
Wrong. He just got selfish. You're not going to convince me that a guy from Stanford's a dum-dum.
No!
Yeah, this is Sidney Justin from The Miracles.
So you heard yesterday's show at Roy Firestone. Did you hear a little clip about him going into the office where Smokey was at? And that was really good material, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was really funny, man.
Yeah, and then you heard him.
I thought it was hilarious. It was cool, though. It was cool. Really cool story, man. I enjoyed listening to that.
Right, and then he gave a couple of bars. Can you give us a couple of more from Ooh Baby Baby? And let's see if you could do it better than Roy Firestone. Come on, man!
All right, you know what? Why not? I did you wrong. My heart went out to play, but in the game I lost you. What a price to pay. Hey, I'm crying. Ooh, baby, baby. How's that, man?
That's
Is that okay? Is that good enough?
That's incredible.
That's fantastic.
You know why? Because that's what you do. You're in the incredible business, Sid. That's awesome. Yes. Only on the Sports Circus. You're going to get sports. You get music.
Do you know someone with a drug or alcohol problem? Get help right now. Insurance may cover everything. Stop the drug and alcohol nightmare. Are drug and alcohol problems hitting you too close to home? Get help right now. Insurance may cover everything.
800-831-1560. 800-831-1560. 800-831-1560. That's 800-831-1560.
You're watching the Sports Circus, and I am Brian Erlacher.
Darkest nights, darkest roads, steady driving. Told you one day, disappear and run away. Let's get away.
Hi, welcome back to the Sports Circus. This is Heidi Merrill. I am a singer-songwriter originally from Nebraska, now in Newport Beach, California. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You can download my music on iTunes, Amazon, pretty much any of those apps where you like to find music. You can find me there. Hi, Sal.
All right.
How was that?
That was fantastic. Thanks for coming back for another segment here on the Sports Circus. And a big welcome to everybody listening in on our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Hotel Television, as well as AmpTV, AAMP.TV. All right, so Heidi, you've done some touring. What was the most unusual venue that you've ever played in?
I don't know about unusual. New York City has some pretty cool venues. I played at Highline Ballroom. I played at Irving Plaza, which is huge. I didn't fill that room by myself. There were definitely other bands on the roster that night. It's kind of cool to play a stage where you have a green room and you're like in the back getting ready, and then you come out on the stage and you have the sound guy and everything. But I'll tell you, I've played some dive bars, too, where you just kind of wing it and you're not really sure what you sound like. But those are just as fun, They all have character. Every show is different. And I don't know. I appreciate all of them.
So on the touring that you've done a full East Coast tour. Tell us about what it's like to be on the road performing your music to some people who know your music and maybe some that don't. What has the reaction been on both sides?
People are very receptive, especially the tour that I did. I opened for Tyler Hilton, Howie Day, and Anna Nolik. Those are names that people know as singer-songwriters especially, and people for those are really sitting down and just listening, I think, to the music and the words. So people are very receptive at those shows, and I loved playing those kind of rooms. Just because they're there to see the headliner, really, and but they're receptive to new music, and I feel like I found a lot of new fans and people coming up to me afterwards and saying how much they enjoyed it. So I think that's really great to get in front of other people's fans who might not necessarily find you otherwise, but they're fans of that type of music. So I really love doing that.
Now, you've been, as I've read, you've been labeled as a modern-day Annie Lennox that meets Stevie Nicks and Shania Twain with influence of pop culture and rock fusion. Tell me about how Annie Lennox meets Stevie Nicks meets Shania Twain. Let's get everybody in the same room. Oh, that would be Heidi Merrill. Is that not correct?
That's right.
All right. So what do you think of those comparisons?
I get it on, different songs. I kind of bring a different voice, a different vibe. And those are a lot of artists that just people up after shows have come up and said, oh, you really sound like this person. So I kind of like that it's a mix because I do, I've worked on my stage presence and really not necessarily dancing around, but working the stage like Shania. And some of my latest writing is really kind of sassy like her. And some of the earlier stuff is definitely, I have rock influences, and the Annie Lennox kind of more sultry voice. I definitely think that's present in some of my music. And I will say Chris Cornell is one of my favorite artists. And, those rock guys really influenced me, especially early on. So, yeah, I like that comparison. I like the fusion of all of those.
That's my joke there is the super band is 1 Chris Cornell and 4 Dave Grohls.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. All right. Sure. So you've also had some influence from Evanescence too. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. You know what? I just love her voice. I don't think my voice is anything like hers. but I used to sing "Bring Me to Life" at karaoke, and people loved it. I don't know. I just fell in love with her. The rock and the drama in like her music and her voice. I don't know. I was just really drawn to that when I was young.
Mm-hmm. I can hear that. You know, it's funny. We had a conversation the other day with one of the members of the Miracles, right? And that was Eric Swindle. And Eric, a wonderful, wonderful guy. Eric's been on the show. He's been on our other partner shows as well. How'd you think about, what do you think about the idea of maybe doing something possibly with one of the Miracles, the famed Miracles? Pretty cool, huh?
That would be awesome. That would be very cool. Yeah. It was nice speaking with him and you on the phone. And from what he said, he's a fan of my music. So that was very nice to hear for me. And I would love to. Absolutely. He said he might have something country that was written a long time ago that would be nice for my voice. So maybe we will get to collab. Who knows?
Right. Well, you have that really strong voice. Folks, by the way, we're here with singer-songwriter Heidi Merrill. You have that very strong voice, and it's not the high-pitched squealy. No, you have that powerful voice that I can see in a stadium. If you were actually playing a big stadium in front of 100,000 people, they could certainly hear you over themselves. Because, you know, some artists, they can't really be heard that well over a buzzing audience, or you know what I mean, or over an instrumental. You know who has an issue like that with a phenomenal voice? Janet Jackson is not heard very well in her music, or but better yet, her vocals over the music. Do you ever notice that? It seems kind of faint and soft.
I guess that's her thing. She has kind of a whisper, feminine voice. So I'd imagine, she has to be turned up a lot. I don't know if it's not good or bad. It's just different voices, right? But
right. I just think of strength and voice.
I guess I'm more of a mid-range singer, so
you have a lot more. You have a lot more power in your voice, and it really comes out from just me as a fan of music. That's what I hear, and I like the idea. It's kind of like you could punch him in the head with with some vocals, but at the same time, you give him a big hug and give him a kiss and say, "How'd that feel? Was that good? You want another one? How about another one?" That's kind of what I get out of it. I don't know, but I like it though. I like it, and I think it's exciting.
That analogy. That works.
Sonar, what do you think?
It is good, and what I like about your voice is it's unique and it's yours. That's why they didn't say this is the one person that they can compare you to. They had to find a grab bag of female artists and kind of pull them in, because you own your voice. That's what I really like about listening to your music, is you know exactly how to play within your own range because you are accustomed to yours. There's a lot of people that are afraid of their own voice, and I'm glad to hear that confidence in your music.
Now, Heidi, Sonar is a guitar player as well. So am I, but I'm a terrible guitar player. Sonar's pretty good.
Yeah, I only play guitar just so I can sing behind it, and I only do that for free beer. So
there you go.
That's about all I've ever been paid. But every country that I went to when I was in the Navy, I would walk around with my guitar and essentially busk. But a lot of it was just busking for food and busking for free beer, so I didn't have to pay for it myself. One time I got train money, but that was about it.
See, every time I play, I have to give people free beer when I play. It's awful.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's
terrible. You forgot to put your tip jar out. I'm sure somebody would have given you something.
Well, the first few times I actually walked out with my big heavy case, which is not a good idea if you're ever going to travel while busking, because it is heavy. It's usually heavier than a guitar. So that's why everybody throws it into a hat. So if you're actually going to go out there, just wear a hat and strap the guitar to your back.
There you go.
That's funny. That's why when I ask about venues, unusual venues, now Sonar's played some unusual venues out there trying to get beer money.
Yeah, I played in an underground, an underground communist bar in Scotland for 2 beers. You got 2 beers for showing up. It was pretty good.
Wow.
I know, 2 beers, right?
That's funny stuff.
Yeah, a lot of places
All right,
do give you a couple of drinks for playing at least.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, look.
No fighting, boys.
What did you say? What did you say? I didn't catch that.
I actually didn't say anything. It was you two right on top of each other.
Oh,
Nobody
man.
heard what either one of you said.
Go ahead, man.
No, it's good stuff. What do you find that you're drawn to for writing songs? Is there an emotion? Is there a sport? Is there a place that you like to go to? What is essentially your number one inspiration when you write these?
Well, you definitely have a story. I think that definitely helps. I'm a little all over the board. Sometimes I'll just be inspired and think of just something really random, and I'll just put it in my phone real quick. I actually woke up this morning. You know, I watched that Taylor Swift documentary, and I was like, oh, I think I have a new song. And I woke up, and I was like, nope, it's a Taylor Swift song. Go back to sleep. No, I mean, with the sports stuff, we definitely said, okay, we're writing a sports song, so let's get amped up. Let's think like Eminem. Let's think like what the backbeat sounds like. And then, you know, obviously some sporty lyrics. And then other than that, I kind of tend to be drawn to that rock, somber stuff sometimes. And I go back to stories that don't even apply to me anymore, like being cheated on or whatever. But I can still write a good song about it, and people can still appreciate it. So.
All right. So listen, Heidi, we're coming up on time here. So tell everybody again how to follow you, and where they can find your music.
So if you just Google my name, Heidi Merrill, HeidiMerrill.com, HeidiMerrill, you can find me on any platform where you listen to music. I'll just leave it at that.
All right, we'll just leave it at that. Make sure to check her out on YouTube and be one of those almost 700,000 people that check out that song Game On, plus all of her other songs. I know we've got about 8 of them being played right now on hotel television. So check that out, too. If you're staying in a nice hotel, a nice 4- and 5-star hotel in any major city in the United States, guess what? Chances are when you turn on that default channel, when you turn that TV on, guess what? It's going to probably be me, or it's going to be Heidi Merrill or somebody else. Who knows? But it's likely it's going to be one of us. Anyway, folks, that's it for today. A big thanks for Heidi joining us today. Big round of applause.
Thank you.
Continued success.
That was fun.
And all your endeavors. And we'll see you next time right here on your favorite station. Until then, so long, everyone.
That's the sound of sizzling, dry-aged USDA Prime Wagyu and Angus steaks from UpperCutChops.com. Their best-in-class filet mignons, New York steaks, and the king of all steaks, the tomahawk and cowboy cut ribeyes are the best in the business. Even their Prime Wagyu burgers will likely be the best you've ever had. Browse the full selection of steaks and chops at UpperCutChops.com from the comfort of your home or on your mobile device. UpperCutChops.com delivers all-natural, dry-aged USDA Prime Wagyu and Angus steaks and chops directly to your door, without the hassle of going to the grocery store and fight crowds to pick from a small selection of average at best meats with injected steroids, fillers, and coloring added to look good. Find out what's for dinner at UpperCutChops.com or call 702-799-9935. That's 702-799-9935. 702-799-9935. Or make your selection directly at UpperCutChops.com.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3